doing is we're collecting all the excess food that people don't eat, and we're going to put it into a compost pile, where it'll then turn into soil and fertilizer that we can use to grow coconut trees. Is that it?
In 2010, the Masterman AP Environmental Science class was assigned to come up with a project explaining sustainability in a high school setting. They chose to demonstrate how much food is wasted each day by the average Masterman student and to spread the word about composting.
The project started with a brainstorming session. The class knew they wanted to do something with the wasted food. One of the first ideas was to actually eat the food that students were planning to throw away, but they didn't want to behave like animals. After many storm sessions, an idea struck them. Composting! Pure genius.
Alright, what do you know about composting? Composting?
Composting? When you decompose something? No?
What do you know about composting?
Composting is when you take various trash-made substances such as apple cores and banana peels and you put them in a pile for several decades and it turns into like fertilizer that you can build crops with, etc.
Composting is a combination of plant, animal, and other organic materials that are being decomposed largely through aerobic decomposition into a rich black soil.
There are 5 essential ingredients necessary for proper compost: nitrogen, carbon, water, air, and size. The nitrogen comes from green materials, such as grass clippings, vegetable trimmings, or fruit peels. Brown materials, such as leaves, twigs, and hay, provide the carbon. The compost should maintain a 40 to 60% moisture content, or about as moist as a wrung-out sponge. Oxygen is necessary for the bacteria and fungus to live and work, so the compost must be well ventilated. Finally, the compost pile should be at least 1 cubic yard, although if well managed, it can be bigger or smaller.
Since we are composting on the roof, we could not have a compost pile. Instead, we bought a bucket for each person in the class, and each of us chose an independent variable for our own compost. We brought in yard waste from home to be used for brown matter. Do you know what everyone's independent variable is? We saw the composting project as a chance to experiment with different independent variables. Each student chose an independent variable that would distinguish their bucket. In addition, we had a bucket that served as the control. Our variables ranged from adding sun chip bags to more or less sun, and even adding worms. With these variables, we hoped to see a difference in each compost bin. The only one that truly showed a difference was bucket number 4, which had more holes drilled in it. This allowed more oxygen in the bucket and the food more easily broke down.
Now we're entering the senior lounge where we see some benches, a chair. Those are our buckets off there in the distance. So this is mine. It looks alright. I mean, not too impressive.
Take a look at
The best one right here is Brian's. Just like, there's actually
No,
dirt.
look at mine. Mine has a ton of dirt.
You just put dirt in, Danny. Here, look at your hand. It's got dirt on it. This is Brian's, I guess because he has the most holes, which aerates it the most, but it's really like nice. A lot of them aren't this good. Danny's independent variable for his experience is the supposedly compostable
Sun chip
bag.
So this is the world's first 100% compostable bag. This is also the world's first 100%.
I don't know how that works out.
This is also. So let's see how this goes. I think I'm just gonna put like a couple in at a time. I'm gonna mix it up.
We're gonna do another one. So we're blending our food. That's our independent variable. Look at the.
This is. You guys want to tell me what's in here?
Well, this is like corn, beans, carrots, sweet potatoes, bread, cheese.
Can we just like?
Here's our trap.
Alright, here we go. What's this? We got a bottle of greenies. And orange.
Look at that.
An entire orange. That's ridiculous.
Brian Murray bravely reaching in task, pull out a hoagie roll.
What's in there? Nothing? Nothing good?
Yeah, that's my piece.
Well, maybe you should finish it next time.
Nick picked this all out of the trash himself. This is all like
Each day, we weighed the food that we collected.
food. Take the bag out.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, you can take let's film.
Just pull it out. See, look.
What we got.
Aptly named Slop Bucket. Ooh, look at that. Spin that around. We got some
that
chips
right there,
in
that
there.
looks
Some peels. Ooh, corn maybe?
Apple crisp and corn.
All right, banana peels.
We're gonna blend this.
And someone needs to be taking notes for your class and how much you're getting each day. Yeah. And an estimate of what percentage you think you got to.
Nice. Apples.
So how much you think?
We're putting this in the blender.
Yeah.
So right now what we're doing is we're putting some slop in the buckets to there. Sophie's mixing. Say hi, Sophie.
How much food does the School District of Philadelphia waste in 1 year? These are the variables. The first step is to multiply the number of weeks in a school year times the amount of food wasted by the Masterman population in 1 week. This calculation leads to 2,480 pounds of food wasted by Masterman in 1 year. If we take this number and divide it by the number of students at Masterman, we can find the average amount of food wasted by each student in 1 year. This calculation leads to 5.243 pounds of food per student wasted in a year. If we take this amount times the total number of students in the Philadelphia School District, 163,647 students, we find that the entire School District of Philadelphia wastes per year 858,022 pounds.
One, write a list. Plan out your meals for the week.
2, stick to the list. Only buy foods that are on the list. Don't be tempted by store offers.
3, keep a healthy fridge. Make sure you properly seal foods and keep them at a good temperature.
4, don't throw it away. Use soft fruit for smoothies and vegetables for soup.
5, use up your leftovers. Save the extra portion of your dinner and use it for another meal.
6, rotate. When you buy new food, move the old food to the front of the fridge.
7, serve small amounts. You can always come back for seconds.
8, buy what you need. Buy loose fruits and vegetables instead of prepackaged ones so that you get your proper portion.
9, freeze. Freeze foods like bread to make them last longer.
10, turn it into garden food. Some food waste is unavoidable. That's where composts come in.
Composting doesn't just lessen the amount of waste going into landfills. The soil made from the decomposed food waste is used for growing gardens and crops, returning the nutrients to the earth and completing the circle of life. Even in a dense urban area, composting can aid in making beautiful green space.
With your mother on a sandy lawn.